Oh, we got a hot one. Well, I can't go. Well, first, before I talk about Trump, we talked about LSU. Now I'm gonna give it up for UConn. Both say they all white, but whatever. They won. They won. All white. You said the majority white.
The girl on 18 was a black girl. You see how fast she ran down the court?
I'm talking about UConn.
The taller guy.
UConn.
The taller guys were white.
Black girl on 18, but she was fastest one on 18.
No, say how
UConn.
You're talking about the men UConn team.
UConn had a fast. They was all white, but they had a black girl on 18, and she was
black
the
girl.
One.
I'm missing
They
something.
talking about the men league. He's saying one of them.
Okay, tell us what we were talking about, Bo. I'm not going to continue. What did you see, Bo?
Oh, UConn. Oh, that's the men. I'm thinking about the girls team. Okay, the men.
Yeah, they didn't make it to the Final Four this time.
They were just too big and dominant.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And it don't matter whether they white or black. They beat everybody
by 30
in the tournament by double digits.
Yeah.
They were just them boys.
They was
they was no match for them, man.
Yeah, they even beat Alabama by 20 earlier in the season.
They were no match for them. And that boy in the middle, Simboki or Sim,
you go, whatever his name was.
Sim something. What's his name, bro?
Man, I can pronounce it. So
what was UConn rank in the tournament?
They were fourth seed.
They were still a fourth seed.
They were fourth seed. But they had lost some people back in the. And see, the reason when I did my bracket, I didn't think those guys were coming back. Like when I saw them, I was like, oh, those guys are coming back. Then when the tournament started, I see them. I'm like, too late now.
So I don't want to neglect giving them their props.
Yeah.
The African brother who won the most valuable player.
That's what I was talking about. Sindaku.
How many is that? 5 rings now for the Huskies?
They have the most rings since 99.
I can go for some with that.
Yeah.
They got 5 since 99.
So
3 different coaches.
Big up, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Big.
And that was Bobby Hurley's brother. That was,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his brother went through a lot of depression, trying to be like Bobby, and he went through a whole lot of rehab and now with this type of thing and trying to get his mind right, and he come out to be a good coach. He's a good coach.
Small world.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they showed his interview from 2 years ago when they lost to Villanova, and he was like, yeah, we lost today, but we about to do something.
That's right.
And that's what he said.
So I'm going to ask the panel, do you think players who stay 4 years win more than players who stay 2 years and go to the pros?
Well, I think it's
programs who 2 years go to the pros.
I think it's a little different dynamic than just 4 years, because if you look at the team that lost, San Diego State, they had a couple players in the transfer portal. So you have this transfer portal is really affecting what happens in the terms of parity for basketball compared to other sports, because now you have guys who they were 4 or 5 star guys that went to a lot of different schools, and then they did things didn't happen, and they went to another school where they found a coach, and now they progressed in that. So you're seeing a different dynamic with the transfer portal, with the teams that can gel together, and it is something to do with them being able to stick together for a number of years in these one and dones.
So in this Final Four, a lot of teams that made it to the Final Four was teams who were together for 4 and 5 years. They wasn't flashing and pan teams like the Dukes and the North Carolina.
Like Alabama was a number 1 seed.
2 and out. And I'm saying, do you think it's beneficial for programs to have kids that go to 4 or 5 years all the way to win it?
I think it does.
2 and out and transfer.
You're going to see a lot more of that.
It depends on
it depends
on what kind. It depends on what kind of house your mama need.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta have those special guys that are young and winning. Like when Kentucky had guys like Anthony Davis and all that. That was special.
Right.
When I was watching Alabama this year and they played San Diego State, from athleticism standpoint and everything, Alabama looked better. But they definitely just was not strong enough. They weren't mature enough. So
I think
anytime you got a team that's been around 4 years.
Can I say something else?
So who you would have bet on?
With Alabama, you had a problem with the
San Diego State. Even though I like Alabama, I would win San Diego State. They look,
Can I say something?
You can say one more thing, Bo.
All right. A lot of programs now. You feel like.
But I still say that lady for UConn was not that fast. But go ahead.
I want to say. The lady from UConn.
He won't call me
motherfucker. The lady from UConn that played on the men's team. I don't even.
Go ahead. What you want to say, man?
I want to say that the female game in pro and college is a lot more exciting than the men.
You crazy as a motherfucker.
Crazy as hell. You don't like seeing people dunk.
It ain't the dunking.
Excuse my
There's no
language,
dunking
audience.
involved.
Excuse
There's
my
no
language.
dunking involved.
You are out of your damn mind. I was watching it. I ain't going to get tired of it. I told you I'm trying to talk about Donald Trump. I ain't trying to get tied up on this, but I was watching the argument the other day, Brian, and they were talking about the woman. I forget who she is. She's in the WNBA. She talking about she's a good basketball player. Period. One of the greatest. I think the commentator said she's one of the greatest women that play. She corrected and said, I'm one of the greatest basketball players. Let me tell you this, man.
Oh, you talking about Sue Bird?
I don't remember
Or
her name.
Taurasi, but go ahead.
There is not a woman. I know I'm gonna catch heat for this. There is not a woman in the WNBA that could survive in the NBA.
No.
Not at
I
all.
don't care what
Not
you
at all.
say. Now you can have some good women. Some of them are exciting to watch,
But they
playing
can't.
other women.
Right.
But it's just an anatomical fact that men are stronger and more powerful in general. Now, any
I'm not gonna
woman,
say it ain't.
any woman in the
I'ma say
WNBA
in
would
general.
blow me out the water.
Right.
But there is no woman in the WNBA that could survive in the NBA.
Like, you could take the WNBA champs.
Even though
Ain't none.
It ain't none.
what about Cheryl Miller being better than Reggie?
Huh?
Cheryl could beat Reggie.
Cheryl Miller can be ready. You believe that if you want to.
She probably beat
I
them
think
when they
if
were
a
younger.
woman from the WNBA could, it would be like a point guard. Cause them, like a point guard, as long as you got vision on the court, as long as you can shoot, as long as you can
It ain't gonna
pass,
happen,
it's a chance. It's a chance with a point guard. I'm not saying she's gonna be a starter.
No,
I'm not saying she's gonna be a starter. She can
She
ride the
ain't gonna
bench.
make it,
There's
man.
people in the NBA that never get in the game. You telling me a woman couldn't sit on the bench? And
No,
he-
she can't be on the bench.
She ain't gonna make it on the bench.
She gonna be the most valuable player when it goes to the locker room. When it comes to the locker room, you're the only
Listen,
woman in
man.
there. You're gonna be the most valuable player.
Basketball is physical,
Since I brought it
and
up,
she
can
would
I-
get
can I say
her.
something since I brought it up?
Basketball is physical, and a woman in the NBA would get her head knocked the hell off.
I think
Well,
you could,
It's
I think you could
some-
take the
it's some women
WNBA
Since I
that
champs.
brought it up, can I
may be
say
able to
something?
hold-
What about the girl from UConn?
No, go ahead, bro.
I have to agree.
She can make it.
Since I said something, can
And
I
there's
say
nothing
something?
wrong with that.
Since I brought up, can I say something? Yeah. I said the level of NBA and women basketball is a lot more exciting than men because I'm not saying because they don't dunk. They don't do a lot of dunking. It's all scheme and it's all
Oh, you saying the
rotation,
fundamentals
ball
of the
The fundamentals, yeah.
fundamentals. And to see them girls play the way they play, man, these girls are talented.
The
It
game
ain't
is evolved now.
I'm not saying NBA is definitely more powerful. It's more dynamic and everything. But if you watch the NBA girls, if you watch softball, fast pitch softball, women's sports are more exciting.
No.
I'm telling you.
Now I'm gonna say it's one
They're
woman.
exciting.
It's one.
They're
It
not
is.
more
It's one
exciting
woman's
than
sport that's more exciting than men's, and I would say it's
I already
Olympic
know what you're gonna
volleyball.
say.
That's how you
That's
like.
what
Olympic volleyball.
That's how you
No. Hey,
Way more exciting.
Hey,
than
women's
men's
volleyball, yes.
Oh,
Women's
my God.
volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Or Olympic volleyball. Them
beach
Brazil girls
volleyball?
is Amazing.
beach volleyball.
Disagree. I'm gonna say women's track.
Volleyball, tennis,
Yes, women's track
Okay,
too.
let's
Women's track too. Women's track too.
track.
Yeah. Women's track. Women's track.
Yeah.
Track
But
and volleyball.
beach.
Volleyball
No. Beach
is-
volleyball. Beach volleyball.
Yeah, I made them change it.
If
what I'm
you
saying
ask anybody, what is the most exciting basketball play?
Oh,
Period.
the alley-oop, the dunk.
What is
man.
it? The
Probably
dunk.
alley- yeah, the
So
dunk,
for
yeah.
you to say women are more exciting without dunking goes against the common.
Yeah.
It's just.
I think you can take a conference runner-up of any male conference and beat the WNBA champions.
This is my opinion. This is my opinion.
And we know how your opinion is.
It's not yours or
I'm
anything.
saying- I'm saying.
I'm saying is I'm more excited watching female sports as I am male sports.
You know, that's not
I'm
what
just
you said.
excited. I'm
That's
just
not what you
excited.
said.
I'm
That
just
is not
excited.
what you said.
I'm saying to
You
you- I'm saying
said
now. I'm saying
female
now.
sports are more exciting than male sports.
Sometimes they are.
Do you wear clothes?
What kind of body? Bo.
Soft pitch softball.
Bo.
Well, until this year, when the major league split their thing up,
Bo,
But
are you
soft
sitting
pitch,
by
softball.
yourself when you watching these games? What are you thinking
Soft
about?
pitch or fast pitch?
Soft pitch turn me on. He like,
Bo, you
softball
said soft or
turn me
fast
on.
pitch?
Watch
What
it.
it is.
I'm
That's
telling
what-
you the
that's what
speed
he
of the
mean.
game.
That's what
I'm
he
telling you the
mean.
speed of the game and the action of the game. I like
speed
female
of the
sports
game?
just as
Okay.
much. I love male sports, man.
I tell you what, Bo.
I watch it all.
I tell you
But
what.
I
So
really
what were you
like female
asking about
sports.
Trump?
I
I'm
like-
gonna tell
I
you
like
something
female
that's
sports.
really exciting that's getting overlooked.
What's that?
Chess.
I love chess.
Yeah, you sit and watch it 2 or 3 hours.
I'm not even
Y'all
gonna
like
lie.
female chess?
Well, you don't ask me.
I like female chess.
You like female chess?
I love female chess. I call them breasts. What y'all call
Yeah. And the
What,
brother,
you talking about the same
and,
game?
and
We ain't talking about the same
the brother that left Magic City the other day, he used to like chess.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Night before
ball.
last,
Wait, ball. We're
See,
saying
I like chess.
he got shot
SS. We're
in
not
the
saying
chest
ST.
and died.
Oh, I thought y'all said chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like female chess.
It ain't.
Y'all talking about like rooks and knights.
Yeah, we said yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. I still probably like females.
Well, that's on you, man. I personally don't like chess. I like breasts. But like what you want. You scientists like what you want. Different jokes for different folks. If you like chess, be my guest.
Female chess. Female chess.
I'll take the breasts. You take the chess. Well, y'all's former president is in a little hot water.
Oh my gosh, the orange one.
I was glued to the TV. Well, I had it on my phone, and I couldn't wait. I know I shouldn't be like that. I couldn't wait for his ass to go up in court. I think one of the big kicks I got was when they walked him into the courtroom to be arraigned, and the guard in front of him let the door go in his face, and he had to open his own door. And all the commentators would say, "Oh my God, I'm sure he hasn't opened a door for himself in years."
I can see. Did you question the fact that Melania was nowhere to be found?
No, I ain't questioning it.
You just
She ain't been nowhere to be found the last year or
What gonna
two.
do with it?
Do you agree with her removing herself from it in his most
Listen,
trying
man,
time?
But you think she
you would
by his
have to
side?
be completely crazy to think Melania Trump is really attracted to Donald Trump other than monetarily. You'd have to be completely. The girl is beautiful. She's hoish, naked on the internet and all that, but she is no woman looking like that
Right.
would be attracted to Donald Trump other than the
Monetary.
money
Money and power.
and
But-
power.
You think she like me, DC?
But you don't need much more
But-
than
But you don't have no money and
If you
power.
had that
What
kind of
else you need than money and power?
But does that justify her not being at his side in his darkest hour?
yeah. Yes.
Okay.
His darkest hour was because he was hoeing. He was a hoe, and he paid the hoe too much money.
Right.
Well, it didn't work because she's still tall.
She said that's
So
more
why
than
should
my
she?
line.
So
I
why
know,
should
but
she
it was
stand
the
by his
process.
side?
It was the process that got him. Why? What?
So why should she stand by his side? I don't
Anytime you
She's
messing with
the
a man
one.
of power,
Why
you
should
should
she be
expect to
standing by
get
his
cheated
side?
on, ran through the mud.
Right.
I
and
actually don't
disrespected.
think they got no relationship. I think at this point, I think it's business. And I think when he's locked up or done running again or whatever,
He ain't gonna get locked up.
she gonna get on that plane with that retarded boy. And he's gonna be licking windows all the way back to
Sylvania.
Sylvania.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna get locked up.
I don't think he will, but I sure would like to. The show is fun, hoping.
Well, they can't put him in an orange jumpsuit.
So,
Why? Because he's already on.
so is there a fear that, okay, let's just say,
Nothing funnier than a person who ain't a comedian trying to tell a joke.
so let me ask everyone this. Do you think this could really backfire on a lot of people who are against Trump and this shoots his platform up if he gets out of it?
I'm glad you asked that. Let me say this in defense of my man Alvin Bragg, the DA, who's prosecuting who Trump called a racist and
Yes.
saying that he was doing this with a political motive. Two things. First thing is, the DA ain't no dummy. if everybody else knows that this is going to give Donald Trump a political boost and the man was politically against him, he wouldn't have done it. Everybody knows. The man ain't no dummy. Everybody knows this is going to give Trump a political shot in the ass. So, knowing that, if the man were thinking politics, he wouldn't have done it.
So, you really think he can really nail this guy? Thing. Yeah, he is a sharp guy. I heard him talk today. So
you don't get to be the DA and not have no.
Maybe he did it because it's going to give him a boost.
The second thing is, now that's a possibility. Now the second thing is, politically, if, and I'm assuming that Bragg, the DA, is a Democrat, if he were politically motivated, he would want Trump to win the Republican nomination because he, in my opinion, and all the polls said, could not beat Biden.
That's what I heard.
So if he is bringing him down and DeSantis gets in there, DeSantis got a chance to beat Biden.
True. Right.
So the DA ain't no dummy. So if he were politically motivated, this would be ass backwards.
To a certain extent, because it could be, like I said, it could be his way of getting his political capital up by bringing this up.
That's a possibility.
And other than me,
I'm just saying Trump
You didn't
got
understand?
a chance to beat Biden. You can't say Trump don't have a chance to beat Biden.
No, what you're saying is that
What?
he's down in the poll.
Anybody understand?
No,
that
Trump
other than
doesn't
me?
have no
Yes,
chance to beat Biden.
I understood.
You don't have no chance.
You didn't understand that, bro?
I didn't understand it all.
Okay, let me go back. Let me make it clear to
Let me
you.
make it clear to me.
You know, they're having the DeSantis, basically, he hadn't declared he's running, but he would be up against Trump for the Republican nomination.
I got you.
Who you think would be easier for Biden to beat, DeSantis or Trump?
Trump.
Trump would be easier to beat.
That's what we thought
All right.
before. That we never thought Trump would ever be president.
Hold on.
Never thought
Wait,
Trump would
whoa.
be president.
We're trying to help him.
I'm trying to get understanding before I speak on something. Go ahead.
Okay, so
For the first time.
DA, I'm assuming he's a Democrat. Trump saying he's a Democrat, blah, blah, blah. If he was doing this for political reasons, it would make most sense for him not to have indicted Trump so that it wouldn't be an issue and it would end up being Trump against Biden.
Do you? Okay.
Carry one. Mine's two. I still don't say.
Okay.
I still don't see how what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right, Bo. Let me put it. Let me help you out. All right, if you was at an auction and you wanted to buy these 3 pigs,
Hold on, 3 pigs.
And-
3 pigs. Give me that. Hold
all
on,
right,
3
so
pigs.
he wanted to buy these 3 pigs,
3 pigs.
Okay.
Write that down.
and
3
Trump showed up with some money to buy them 3 pigs,
pigs.
but DeSantis had more money than Trump to come to buy them 3 pigs.
Okay.
Who wouldn't you want to be there trying to buy them 3 pigs against you, DeSantis or Trump?
Well, it's called what time Biden showed up.
Terrible. That is terrible.
And then,
He said it depends on if your house made out of straw, or if your house made out of brick, or if your house made out of wood. That's what he said. It depends. I got 3 pigs. It depends on what my house made
He
out
knows
of.
about pigs, man.
I thought you were trying to help
What's that,
Bo.
Bo?
Is your house made
I
out of
thought you were trying to
straw?
help Bo.
Is your house
But
made out of straw?
as I look at DeSantis,
okay.
there's something I just don't think that what and I would have went with you up until the other day when Disney did what they did against DeSantis. It's
got
something. It's something to where I think there's something we're gonna find about DeSantis. I don't know if he'll be the front runner. I'm not gonna sit there and say it's Trump. It's either it could be somebody that we ain't heard of yet, but I don't know if DeSantis will be the guy. He looks like it, but for Disney to go against him, the Disney go against the way they did, that's a lot of money and power in his own state to go against him.
Hold up. We didn't get back to the.
Yeah, but even with
All right,
that,
well,
even
go
with
back
that,
okay, to help
Let's
you
go back
out.
to the pig rule.
All right,
'Cause what you just said, we already said that. Let's go back to the pig rule.
Okay, we're gonna go with
How
the
do
pigs.
The pig rule apply to the situation. Go back to the hogs.
I'm with you on that, Bo, for
Yeah,
once.
that-
Go back to the
nuts.
hogs.
Because you're looking at votes are pigs. So you want to get more pigs than anybody else.
Okay, I got pigs.
So
I got
so
pigs.
if someone has more money, more resources to get those pigs compared to someone else, you want to get rid of the person that can get more pigs than the other person that you got to go against.
Hold on.
Even
you said all that.
even a half white man ain't too bright.
Right.
Oh my
Right.
God.
I was like,
Well, I can't be too bright with trying to
Hold
give
on.
him an
'Cause
example.
You said everything about everybody else, but you didn't say about what I need to do with my pigs. You said what they should do.
you did say, Bo, you got 3 pigs.
No, I said if there's 3 pigs that you trying to buy,
Let's
Trump
get
got
three
3
pigs.
pigs.
if there's 3 pigs,
The market
you know,
first.
3 pigs.
With more money.
no. I was saying
I said
if you try to buy 3 pigs,
All
Okay.
I tell you what I'm
Break it down
gonna
on the
do.
Jay told him right. She told him.
Because we are losing viewers, I'm gonna take a break and we're gonna come back.